Today's daily Bible thought is a tough one for me, and I had to take it little by little. And I think we all need to take it little by little. But I'm going to read it and then we'll take it little by little together. Philippians 3:10 reads, I want to know Christ. Yes, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in his sufferings, becoming like him in his death. Okay, now granted, it's one verse and it's lifted out of context a little bit. So I really do encourage you to read the book of Philippians all the way through. It's not very long. You can handle it. It's only 4 chapters. But also, just reading the verses around Philippians 3:10 will help. But still, the point gets across clearly here. And I mean, the first part we all want. I want to know Christ. I do. I want to know Jesus. I want to know him. Yes, to know the power of his resurrection. I mean, that's the part we all want to take a piece of, right? We want to feel that power of being raised from the dead. I mean, there's nothing better. But then it says we also want to participate in his suffering. That doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound pleasant. It doesn't sound like something I should sign up for. And I don't want to, the whole idea of becoming like him in his death. Well, that requires some thought and prayer to think about the reality that how can we even start to be like him in his death? Well, his death was a sacrifice. His death was him laying his life down for us. So can we be like that? Well, we can. His death was what allowed him to be risen from the dead. So it had a happy ending and he's alive forevermore. But the reality is suffering is real and we want to avoid it at all costs. I mean, if you've got a headache, take some Tylenol. If you're sick, take medicine, right? And get better. We don't like to suffer. We don't want to suffer. And yet we're called to suffer. And Jesus said, in other parts of the Bible, you can read that he talks about in this world you'll have trouble, but don't despair because I've overcome the world. So if you want to know Christ and you want to know the power of his resurrection, you got to sign up to participate in his sufferings and to become like him in his death.